every year, they have to go in over and over again to offer a sacrifice. But it was not good enough. All of a sudden, you've got to understand that what God does, God have a plan for everything. And so the Bible said that that was only for a temporary sacrifice. Because if it was good enough, then they wouldn't have to go back every year. But because of that, they have to go back once a year. And they have to make sure that the priest himself got to be purified before he go in. Because if you go in unclean, you will drop dead. People of God, we've got to understand that before we come before the presence of God, we've got to come purified and holy. We've got to come ready for whatever God got for us. Amen. And so the high priest would go in. But all of a sudden the Lord said, well, that's not good enough. So he sent Jesus Christ. He sent Jesus Christ, a more perfect sacrifice. And Jesus Christ came in the form of a man. He came as the lamb to be slain. The Bible said, and for Moses, when he has spoken all the precepts to all the people and the law, he would take the blood of the calves and the goats, and with water and with scarlet wool and with hyssop, and he will sprinkle himself. Somebody say, sprinkle yourself.
Sprinkle yourself.
Sprinkle yourself.
Sprinkle yourself.
And all the people. He will sprinkle the book itself and all the people, including himself. Watch this. See, there is few things that is notarized here. The water. The water represents cleansing. You got to be clean through the word. Yes. Then he used hyssop. Hyssop was a summer thing that they use a bush, but it's also used as a medicine for cleansing. Yes. That's why David, when he was asking for forgiveness, he said, cleanse me with hyssop. Wash me and I shall be whiter than snow. It's important that we be cleansed with hyssop. See, sometimes you got to understand that when the word of God comes to correct you, it always tastes good, but it's good for you. Medicine is not always good, tastes good, but it's good for you. Hallelujah. And then he said, this blood of the New Testament, as God has commanded, likewise, he both the blood on the tabernacle and the vessel, he would go in and he would sprinkle things. Yes. I heard Pastor William keep telling you all today, sprinkle the blood, sprinkle the blood. All right. See, the blood purifies. The blood cleanses. And also the blood heals. You got to understand, that's why, you see, sin came into mankind, or as we say, the human race. And what sin did, sin corrupted everything that has to do with man and God. But the Bible said that God looked and in his infinite wisdom recognizes that something is needed once and for all to be cleansed mankind of all their sins. And so the blood was instituted. But the blood was not good enough until Jesus Christ came as a high priest. And he came, he lived the law according to the way it's supposed to live. And then finally, the writer said that according to the law, all things are to be purified with the blood. My brothers and sisters, that's why the word of God said that I was born in sin and shapen iniquity. Every one of us born in this world, you ain't got to do anything to sin, because you got to understand, over in Leviticus chapter 17 and verse 11, let's turn over there. It says, verse 17, Leviticus chapter 17 and verse 11, for the life of the flesh is in the blood, And I've given it. Are you there? For the life of the flesh is in the blood. I've given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your soul. For it is the blood that make atonement for the sin, for the soul. It is the blood that make atonement for the soul. So you said, now preacher, what is atonement? Well, I'm glad you asked. Atonement is simply mean that it purifies. Without the blood, there will be no atonement for sin. Without the blood, you will not be cleansed from where you are. You are all messed up from the day we were born. We are brought into this world. And sometimes you don't have to do anything. And that's why it's important. That's when you pray, you ask God for forgiveness. That's why the